Look forward to talking with you.
We asked the immortal question: is anybody out there?
That is true. And is anybody really out there?
Are we really here?
I
All
hope
right.
so.
So we kind of captured last game, kind of went over a couple details. Things going on, the quest for the kindred, and then find themselves searching for a way to eliminate or reduce Pentex's influence on the city, solidify the Ventru underneath Brody, so he's not watching his back as badly. Jack was working on the casino, and in the past time, Josiah was searching for a way to take out a certain sire who has fallen astray of him.
Well, not just me.
Yes. With the assistance of a lovely drag queen named Starbright. And in the past few nights, they've been spending their evenings plotting and thinking about ways to destroy this destroy Felipe's reputation or destroy him ultimately. And we meet in the shack. Would everybody give me your rouse checks for the night? Oh.
Not a good
10.
start.
Okay.
I
6.
like this dice.
Not good.
Josiah,
Yes.
you hear a voice in the back of your head saying, amongst this place with all these humans, you could eat any one of them, and the world wouldn't miss them in the least. Go ahead. Consume something. Make yourself worthwhile for once.
At least it's not telling him to go out and get another dog or something.
That's not his voice. Adam,
Yeah. Yes.
you hear Giuseppe's voice going, man, you remember that last time when he took all the blood? All that delicious blood. Let's do that again. It sounds great.
I do remember that, Giuseppe. And it was glorious.
All right. So your hunger does increase to 1. Josiah, your hunger increases to 2. You aren't in much danger right now, but you definitely feel the edge creeping in. So probably a good idea to try to find something to try to feed on to level yourself out.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the bar now has the V beer.
I will give that a try.
V
You,
beer when you want V beer.
That's right. And we'll say you meet in the VIP lounge of the establishment of the shack, Brody's usual place of business.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a bartender just polishing a glass, looks at you as you kind of walk up, gives you a courteous smile, and how can I help you? He asks.
Give me one of those V beers over there.
He looks like he goes, yes, sir, right away. And he pushes down the keg handle and out of the tap pours this beer that looks like just regular beer, except it has a slightly reddish tint to it.
It's Killian's Red.
It could very well be Killian's Irish Red. You take your first tentative sips, and it tastes very familiar to the old days when you could still drink.
Nice.
Still got a nice hoppy little bit of watered down hop to it, but it's definitely there. you regain one of your bloods, one of your hungers.
Sweet. Boop.
I'll also go down the VIP and see about getting some V beer.
Of course. And as you do, this mustachioed bartender, he has a curled mustache, gladly pours you one as well, hands it to you. And just, it tastes delicious. You can stomach it. You have no feelings of vomiting when you drink it, which is one of the side effects of drinking human beverages. At some point, you have to vomit it out or expel it out of your system.
Yeah.
That's why I got eat food.
Yes. So, covering last couple of editions here, Ventru approached you, Brody, upset about Nathaniel Fentus doing his vaccine for COVID before it had a chance to make them billions. And in a short time, casino updates are going very well. And you guys had an interesting meeting last game. If you'd like to inform the party of what's going on, those who are there.
Well, we met with a bunch of werewolves. Cute little puppies.
Big.
They were naked.
Well,
They're
one
part of a
that- the one
clan?
that transformed was. The other two didn't transform.
I'm assuming they were all naked.
Yeah, if they transformed, yeah.
They are interested in our proposal to ally with them and co-dominate this city, so long as we can do something about the company Pentex.
Have we found anything out about Pentex yet?
We need to actually investigate a genetics company, Mercurial. It's over here.
Mercurial Medical Research Group.
Yes, that place. We scoped it out a little bit as we drove by it last night, and only one person was there, but we know it to be a kind. If we can find several of their the puppies' members that have been taken by the Pentex, they will gladly come to our side.
Okay.
Our best lead is Mercurial Genetics Research Company.
So we need to. So we need to go there. Find out. That you said they captured one of them.
From what I understood, they captured 3 of them. I'm not 100% on that.
Okay. So we need to infiltrate and see what they're doing with the other werewolves.
Yes. And
try to
release
stop.
those werewolves if possible.
Okay. And try to stop the company.
Also, you know that the show starts at 10 o'clock, Josiah. And were you to do what you discussed with Starbright, you must. That's gonna have to be a faster. You have to get there pretty soon. It's about 6:30. Being generous with the light.
Right. Do we already have what we need? Or do we still need to go get that?
You have a duffel bag that's been delivered to the shack. Starbright is well aware of where you hang out.
Of course.
And inside the duffel bag, as you glance into it, you see several T-shirts and the sort that at one time probably were pretty cool to look at. You know, they have some humor with them, like a shirt that has Britney Spears on it that was been cut up pretty badly, and then a couple of like shirts that have just cheesy anime characters and that sort of thing.
Maybe catchphrases like "Where's the beef?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, "Where's the beef?" That's a little too old.
Is there a Free Britney T-shirt there?
Leave Brittany alone.
You do find one shirt that's been untouched,
It's probably too current.
which has Firefly on it. The cast of Firefly.
Oh, I might just
Oh, yeah.
steal that one
There's
for
a lot of stuff
myself.
like that. Firefly, Buffy,
Mm-hmm.
Angel.
There's a myriad of different kinds of shirts.
Old Josh Wheaton bandwagon.
That's right.
You know, they said they asked all the cast of Firefly, if they'd actually come back together and actually do more Firefly, and they said yes on one condition: Josh Wheaton. And then they actually asked Sci-Fi Channel if the Sci-Fi Channel would put it on the air if they would actually do another Firefly, and they said the same thing: one condition: Josh Wheaton.
Joss Wheaton. Mhm. So, yes. So you're keeping the Firefly shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
That's coming with me because, yeah.
Very well. So that being said, you have a couple options. Do you go to the Pompadour immediately to go ahead and try to sabotage the runway show, or do you go to Mercurial Medical Research Group and try to investigate that?
So my thought on that would be, we need to go get that done early. So we would go and do that first, just to get it set up and ready to go. And then afterwards, we could maybe stick around just long enough to see the disaster happen. Or maybe just have somebody else that we know go in and just kind of film it, maybe post it live or something on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Or, you know, the equivalent. And then that way we won't even be there when it all goes down for him, and hopefully creating enough of the distraction if he throws a hissy fit, which he likely will, because, you know, he's kind of a twat.
He is a Toreador.
And so we won't even be there, so he'll just throw a fit wondering, who did this? Which, you know, he'll probably just assume, but nobody will be around for him to catch. And then we could be rescuing the other people. How does that sound to everybody else?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, works for me.
All right. So let's go do this.
So how are we traveling?
I think in this circumstance, let's not take the vehicles that everybody knows we have. Let's see if we can find another quick mode of transportation.
Okay. A ride share is in existence, so if you'd like to, you can definitely ride share and even do a
We'll check the bus schedules real closely.
yes. Would Brody lower himself to the bus?
No. No.
So what you're saying is you're doing Uber Black.
Yes. We travel in style.
You make the phone call, or you make the app checking, and Uber Black is there within 5 minutes. You're in one of the busier districts of the city. He's letting the dogs out. You're in one of the busier districts of the city, party night time. Everybody gets in the vehicle. In short order, you're actually at the Pompadour, one of the premier locations for gatherings and meetings and that sort of thing. Often houses balls. Located in the hotel next or near it. Let's see. And multiplier.
And so on that, I am going to get out, and then I'm going to go for unseen passage.
Excellent.
So I got to do a rouse check, correct?
Yes. Yep, you have to do a rouse check. Do you want to let your friends know what you're doing? So that way they can open the doors for you.
Yes. Yes.
And I would also assume that you go behind some corner, just around the corner,
Yeah,
disappear.
whatever.
Just so you don't do it in plain sight.
Exactly. Oh, mother.
Oh my.
It's
You
okay.
are getting close to me. You should definitely be full tonight. I tell you, you can't do anything right. You hear this voice in the back of your head say, not even feed.
I'll fill my foot in your ass and don't shut the fuck up.
However, even though the rouse check was failed, or increased your hunger, you definitely do notice that people stop paying attention to you as you walk through. You, the party, I mean, how do you proceed?
I'm just gonna walk up to the door and hold it wide open for
For the entourage?
Josiah.
Yep.
Excellent.
And I'll just sneak right in.
And you do know that the basement is the location of the storeroom where he's keeping his clothing line. Do the Ventru walk in it as well?
Yeah.
And you see all about two great big canister lights or spotlights, making the sky have little spots in it, so that way people get attracted to it. And he's done everything he can to make this as big of an event as possible. And you see on one side a rather large, almost medieval banner that's been printed with an opera mask. It says "The Dark Opera" on it. And on either side of these grand doors, you can see a lot of famous people from the city. A lot of the more popular, more rich people in there are attending. And from within, you can hear some upbeat music going on as people are coming early to catch seats. Josiah, you kind of do you inform them of where the shirts are or the suits are and the garments?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely would. How well would it be already have like a lay of the land in this place?
You've been there a few times. You remember this is also the very location where you introduced yourself to the prince the first time.
Correct. Right. So, what I would do is there anybody else that has the stealth,
Nope.
ability close to me at all?
To your knowledge, go ahead.
I have stealth, but I'm not like super proficient in it.
Okay.
Yeah, to your knowledge, those who possess your unique abilities are not amongst this group. It's not generally seen within the Bruja or the Ventru. They're
Right.
usually out there to be seen rather than to be hidden.
Gotcha. So how how many doorways do I have to get through before I get down there? Would I know that?
There's an access stairwell, and as you kind of go ahead and give me a wits and awareness.
Ugh, that's not good.
Ooh, buddy.
I mean, I critted.
That wasn't quite a critical success, which is good because it would have been a bestial success for you.
Yeah.
I mean, Felipe would have been saying more things. I'll give you this. You kind of look over out of the corner of your eye, and Adam, as your character, as you kind of look over as well, given the role that you've done, you notice that there's a service elevator that's currently being used, and you see actually Felipe stepping out and walking down a hallway, which you can only assume leads to the actual show, the backstage of the show itself.
Okay.
The service elevator is manned by a single individual, and it's one old school. Actually, has a hand crank to it. Elevator operator.
Okay. I guess it's one of the things. Do we overpower him, or do we try to persuade him to bring us down, or do you want me just to
Do you kind of whisper this to him?
I can try to distract him while you get onto the lift, and hopefully he'll bring you down to the basement. You
Yeah,
just
that
want to
sounds-
try that?
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty reasonable idea.
Okay. So I'll go up to the lift, and
The elevator
I'll-
man eyes you warily as you are quite an intimidating character walking up. Can I help you? He
yeah,
said.
I was just seeing if I could get a ride down.
I'm sorry, no one's allowed downstairs.
Is there a reason behind that?
Well, tonight's the big show. Can't you see? And he points to the banners. He says,
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm supposed to be meeting someone down there.
Who? Go ahead and roll a wits and persuasion for me, or wits and subterfuge. I'm sorry.
It's not gonna be good.
Oh, you should still have one hunger, by the way.
Oh, sweet.
You did quite well.
The V beer didn't help me at all.
Nope. You can only remove the last hunger by actually consuming the heart blood of somebody on the last
okay.
drop. Or last
I
beat.
got you.
That being said, you did well. I don't show any critical successes, so there's no chance for a bestial success. And let's go ahead and see what he. And he, as you kind of make up the story about meeting somebody down there, he nods and he goes, "Okay, well, we're normally not in the business of doing this, but for a nominal fee, I might be willing to go ahead and, ferry you down."
Well, what are we talking about fee?
Make a number up, and we'll see if it suits your need to ride.
How about a fresh Benjamin?
He holds his hand out expectantly.
I hand it over to him.
He turns as if he can't see you getting on the elevator.
All right. I slide on in.
You're and I assume Josiah, are you also, if not already in the elevator, getting in?
Yes. Sorry, I muted myself, and yeah, I'm sliding right in behind him.
Fantastic.
And hopefully he doesn't notice the extra weight.
And the door shuts, and you hear the crank as it shifts into gears and starts manning the wheels and everything. And the elevator starts to drop. Meanwhile, the presence of one of the most prominent Ventru in the city, and another Ventru, who is also well known for some reasons, has been noticed. And
I didn't even have to pop my aw.
and one of the individuals goes, one of the doormen comes up and says, "Oh, Mr. Brody, and have I seen you on some show before?"
Possibly.
He goes, "I think I'd bet on it." He goes, "I wasn't expecting you, but I was given specific instructions that if anybody in the city who of note was to show up, they're invited in, and Felipe would be proud if you would see his dark opera." And he presents with a grand flourish, arm extended out to the door.
Sorry, I'm stuffing my face.
Fine.
I go in.
Okay, so you acknowledge him. You're going to go into the show. And do you also accept, as you remember on the first time that you were there, the show, the Dark Opera, the Pompadour's Grand Ballroom has been built in the fashion of the Titanic. in the grand ballroom of the Titanic. So there's a grand sweeping stairwell coming down with the balcony overlooking the party, and it's been on this occasion modified so that black drapes are down covering the start of a walkway, and you see a runway coming up amongst several fold-out chairs. And so you hear the music going off. It's very house music-y, very upbeat, very happy. You're directed to a seat right next to the stage, where you can see every model close up, right next to several top name designers in the nation, who are also eagerly awaiting to see what has Felipe produced. Felipe, you can see peeking out from the corner, looking at the crowd that's just now starting to settle into their seats. Starts making announcements and comes out on the stage and gives a big, grandiose, just welcome to the Dark Opera. I'm glad you're here tonight. In a few short minutes, we're going to start the show. But what you should expect is something dark, something mysterious, and an element of fashion never seen before. This is going to be epic. And he proceeds to give a grand flourish and a bow, and he walks with grace back behind the curtains. Meanwhile, the elevator stops on the lower level, opening up into a storage room. And you see several very fine garments being loaded onto a clothing cart with a bar over it and the hangers up through it and everything. And it's almost showtime. You've probably got about 20 minutes before they start ferrying it up to the audience, or to the people to get seen. You see that these articles are very beautifully designed. They have elements of frill, darkness, quite exposing elements as well. And then you see a couple of individuals as the doorman to the elevator shuts it, cranks it to go up, and wait for the call and wait for anybody else who needs to go down. You see a couple of handymen just kind of like loading these garments on there and making sure that they're properly cared for before they get put out to work. What are you two doing down in the cellar of this establishment?
Well, when we got the elevator, did we see anybody down there?
I'm sorry?
Do we see anybody when we get off the lift?
Yes. It opens into the warehouse, the storage room. And you can see the two people. There's two just handy people there, two hired hands that are just carefully loading garments onto the clothing racks to be loaded up and brought upstairs so they could start dressing their models.
Okay. Is it the suits that we're looking for?
You can deduce that there's only one element of or one garment manufacturer or show going on today, and that these are definitely high end. So you would assume that this is, yes. Um,
And about how many people are there right now?
there are two
Two.
that you can see.
2.
Okay. So when you grab these clothes, are you gonna be seen once you grab it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, here's the deal. I am wearing my trench coat, correct?
If you would normally be wearing a trench coat, we would assume you have it. Yes.
Okay. How many do we need? How many suits and
the goal is to get rid of all of them. And
so we just have to get rid of them?
yeah,
Like burn them?
whatever works.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just, yeah, just getting rid of them and replacing them with the shit that's in this bag.
You kind
Okay.
of and although you can't see the bag, as you look down, they still slightly unzipped bag. You see a shirt that has like an old rancid like label across it.
Okay. So what I guess my plan will be, just so you know, Josiah, is I'll try to distract the two guys loading. I'll try to be kind of obscene. That way you can get in there and trade clothes out, garments out.
Yeah, because all of those garments are currently visible, right?
Yes, you see that they've been carefully loading them as they go.
Okay. And they're not like in like garment bags or anything like that, right? Like they're
They're
just
in.
out there.
They've actually been unwrapped so that they're ready and accessible for the models once they get up there.
Okay. And my only other question is there a furnace down here that could be possibly running?
There
Well,
are
how about-
boilers and that sort of thing, but it's a whole different room of the building. From your knowledge.
Gotcha. Okay.
Would there be any like boxes?
There are definitely boxes and that sort of thing there. I mean, these articles were located in the boxes beforehand. Great upright boxes protecting the garments from folding and all that sort of thing, as the quality of them.
Or how about ventilation shafts?
Yeah, it's a hotel. You see ventilation shafts. You see that they're kind of high, out of reach, kind of difficult to reach unless you were to use one of your abilities. But at
Okay.
this time, the two individuals kind of see you conferring amongst yourself because they cannot see your compatriot.
Yeah.
They say, "Sir, you can't be down here."
I'm here to meet my friend.
Your friend? This is a private event. Who is your friend?
I tell him pretty much the same story I tell the lift guy up from upstairs, and I'll just say that it's one of the models in the show. Or
Okay. And while you don't know any of the models in the show, unfortunately, you they kind of don't they don't quite buy your story as eagerly as the gentleman upstairs. However, you do get the feeling that these people are underpaid for dealing with who they're dealing with. As the gentleman upstairs was kind of willing to do a shitty job for a short amount of money.
well, I'm gonna in that case, I'm gonna ask them. So I'll say, you know, if you guys could be unseen for the next 10 minutes, what would it cost me?
It's
What,
oh,
what,
you're-
if, what if you were to go do a smoke break for 15 minutes and I give you a
well, we can't leave for 15 minutes. They're expecting the garments by that point. But if you're willing to go ahead and part with a couple hundred each, and look amongst themselves, that's going to show up way on video.
yeah. Let's do,
It's also not great for them on the other end of the microphone.
So,
if you had, I think a couple $100 a piece would be plenty for us to go ahead and turn our backs for a few minutes.
yeah, let's do that. And I pass them both a couple $100.
They take the money and they turn their backs and they go and talk about what an asshat Felipe is.
all
And you
right.
get that their loyalty is only to the dollar, and Felipe is not paying them well.
So I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna kind of stand there and make noises, and make sure that I'm not seen around the clothes. That way, if it comes down to like, oh, it was him, the guys there can say like, I wasn't doing anything. I was just standing there waiting on the friend.
Right?
Yeah. So before I get to work, are there any cameras that I can see?
There are some cameras.
All right.
Of course, this whole place has had cameras through it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that unless you have a certain level of your discipline, your ability to hide, that the cat's going to be out of the bag one way or another.
Yeah, I've been waiting to put that up to the next level. So at this point, I'm going to do my best to cover myself, just so that, as best as I can do, I'm not
Okay.
identifiable.
Your usual
then-
hoodie.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna swipe all of the clothes and then rehang up all of the other stuff and nice pretty way, hang them back up on the hangers and everything.
These shirts have been stuffed in a duffel bag for at least a day or two. There is no beauty to it. They're wrinkled and disastrous. There are jeans that are nicely folded in the bottom, but these jeans are like the old FUBU Jinko jeans and that sort of thing.
Nice. I approve of this message. And then I'm just going to take all of the rest of this stuff and just as a bit of good measure, as I'm tossing them into the bag, as I'm swapping stuff out, I'm going to pull out my feral weapons just on my hand and just slice the shit out of them as they're going in. So they're like completely unusable as they're going into my bag.
So
And then I'm going to...
give me a rouse check for your feral weapons.
There we go. That's
Oh, I'm so disappointed right now.
I know you are, and I don't care. So, I got that, and then I'm gonna hop back on the elevator. Hopefully, am I now seen, or do I need to hide again?
You have definitely been doing things. They try not to pay attention to you as you're doing what you're doing.
but I do still need to hide for
Yes,
our
you
way
will have
back
to.
up.
To disappear from mind's eye, you'll have to go ahead and hide again.
Yeah.
So another rouse check is going to be required.
Okay.
Not that I ever try to make you go hungry, but you know.
Right. Son of a bitch.
You asshole! Those garments took hours to make, man, and you're just getting hungry. You know, you should take one of these dolls that took your friend's money and just drain them right now. It'd be great. Let me tell you, those blood bags you drink out of, they aren't anything compared to the taste of pure flesh.
You know what? I really started to wonder if I would have been smart enough to take one of those beer cans and stuff it in my bag.
It was all off the tap. So.
Oh, motherfucker. Hey. We're not doing, what are they called? Where you can buy the jug.
Done like a growler?
Yeah, growler.
You were informed at the time that you purchased the beer that you were limited to one beer that night.
Oh, motherfucker.
For the sole reason that the whole city is dependent on this keg that wants to try it. And they don't want drunk vampires inside the bar.
Right.
Because you did feel a little familiar buzz from that as well.
Okay.
In short order, you do switch out the garments. One of them hears an alarm going off, and walkie goes off and says, "We're ready for the garments." And they turn, saying, "We have to go we have to gather the garments now and see what you've done." And they're gonna, oh shit! As you kind of turn and you know that for sure that they've seen your face under the deal, under the hoodie, and you're just stuffing the last bit of just fine fabric in this duffel bag, and you hear it satisfyingly crunch as like some of the more glued on components and things kind of bend away that they weren't intended to go. And zipping the duffel bag, I assume you walk between the deal and just disappear.
Yeah. Only instead of going back up the elevator, I'm gonna zip up the stairs.
Okay. And do you tell your compatriot there?
Yes. or at least give a clear signal of where I'm headed, which is in the opposite direction of the
Yes.
The elevator.
Adam, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try not to follow him.
Okay. Are you going to go up
Wait.
with the elevator with them then, or?
Yes.
Okay. You do find that some careless dolt left the door to the access way to the stairwell open, much to your luck tonight.
Nice.
Right. You follow them in the elevator. They go up. You exit post haste. Do you just kind of wait around in the lobby, or what do you?
I'm gonna try to meet up with everybody else.
Okay. You noticed that the two Ventru that you were with are conspicuously absent now. The doors to the theater have been shut. You hear the music booming. You hear a voice coming over the amphitheater, or over the amps, the amplifiers. And within, this beating music just is almost unbearable now, as this DJ is just pumping out just trash, just Yep. Boots and whiskers. And you hear Felipe going out, and the music hypes up a little bit more, and he's, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present the Dark Opera, and the music crashes down, and it turns into da-da-da, and just old school, just with a rhythm backbeat to it, just old school organ music that you might hear in like a opera, and some string instruments playing along with it. And you hear almost audibly over the group, whole crowd as the first model starts walking out in a high step, or high bouncy steps that the models are quite good at in their walks, making sure everything
The bounce.
looks bouncy and beautiful, and garners the most attention. And you hear gasps as the first one in a Slayer shirt that's been shredded about 3 ways from Sunday, a little bit of nipples actually showing through one corner of it, walks up, and Felipe turns, and you see him grip the microphone extraordinarily tight, and anger just fills him as he shakes. And then you see another model come out, and she's got one of the Doors shirts on. Once again, shredded, looks like it's a little bit moth-eaten. You see the
I think
famous
my uncle had that.
You see the famous Britney Spears shirt. Been cut off. Looks like it could have come straight out of the 90s, where a girl has just cut the shoulders out to make it look appealing and that sort of thing. And I guess Starbright may have been a Britney fan, because it's actually been given some sort of love. And it continues going on. 90s bands, 80s bands. You even see a Cher shirt on.
I like the mix of the generations.
Yeah.
You know, the Doors, but then all the way down to Britney Spears.
Lots of drugs used in all of them. So.
And with this, you hear Felipe throw down the microphone and storms off stage as the show continues without him.
He doesn't seem very happy. I think it's a great show.
And meanwhile, everybody in the gallery is chatting and laughing at the misfortune of this very famous designer throughout the city. And the music stops as you hear
Oh, is that it?
a rather loud punch coming from the back room and crashing of some audio equipment and a DJ. As you hear the over the audio system, the loud just distortion of plugs and cables being torn out of an active system, active PA. You hear a DJ going, "Hey, that's my equipment." And, "I don't care. This is a disaster." As he walks over to another person and goes, "Who did this?" And you hear you hear a couple voices, "Sir, I don't know. This is just what we found on the racks. This is what was put there to put on the racks for us, and here you go. I thought it was exactly what's supposed to be." You hear one of them get punched. He goes, "I'll deal with you later." You'll never work in this industry again. And he comes storming outside of the grand ballroom. Meanwhile, someone picks up the microphone. It's still hot, and it says, "Ladies and gentlemen, there will still be beverages and an after party. Feel free to hang around for that. Sorry about the show." And clicks it off.
Oh, is that it?
That sucks. I was
Very
hoping.
nice.
sad.
I was enjoying
So
it.
Yeah,
sad.
I was too. I mean, I kind of fit in here.
You did see one individual come through with their like 1990s Guess sports blazer, you know.
Please tell me there was a members only jacket or two in there as well.
Oh sure, we'll go with it. Absolutely. Members only, FUBU, all the old classics. And there were more than a few people recording this live event and streaming it online. As you come up out of the basement, you see the doors shut ahead of you. But after about a couple minutes, Felipe comes crashing through the door, storming down the steps, trying to find his lost garments. Maybe salvage something of this show. He is swearing up a storm. And Adam, if you would give me a wits and awareness. And what are my two Ventru doing while we're waiting for that roll?
Laughing hysterically.
We're having a great little conversation.
Oh my. Adam.
Uh-oh.
Not too bad.
Uh-oh.
Critical success on a black and then another success.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're fine. You don't even need to roll. You know exactly what happened.
I have no clue.
Adam, out in the lobby, you see someone with a shirt that says F the military on it. And it draws your anger and your hatred and your... Because you've lived under this creed for so long that this jackass has just pissed you off. I will say that he deserves a beating, and you're considered in a frenzy at this point. Basically taking a -2 to any sort of rolls, other than accomplishing the beating of this individual. Until it's done, until the end of the scene.
Well, I'm gonna start marching over to him.
Okay. Now you do have enough wisdom that this would be a bad place to start the fight, but you can certainly take him outside, or
Yeah, I'll march up to him and tell him to either take off the shirt or get outside.
He looks at you and goes, he's kind of puffs himself up, and I have a right to my opinion.
Well, I will grab him and then drag him outside.
And for a moment he tries to resist, but it becomes blazingly clear and blatantly clear that he has no chance of avoiding this confrontation. And Josiah, that is a lot of fucking red dice you got there. Let me just tell you, it's beautiful. I like seeing that.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm going to fix it here in like 10 minutes. So I'm going to head straight for my bags
Okay.
at the place.
So, Adam, you kind of drag this guy like a rag doll. And then, how do you proceed to go about enticing your rage? He is obviously no match for you.
I'll punch him right in his face.
Well, give me a strength plus brawl.
Yeah.
Who does it?
Yes. So, you just take him, still gripping onto the shirt and punching him in the face. And you hear the shirt rip audibly as you punch once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 and 6. And he's left on the ground, just bleeding out of his nose, out of his mouth. A couple of his teeth are spilled amongst the pavement. He's still breathing. But his shirt is now the only thing that could sop up that blood for him at this time. Do you tell him anything?
Tell him next time he wears something stupid like this, I'm gonna kill him.
He looks at you with abject horror, just terrified of what's just happened, actually just getting beaten up for his opinion, or his attempt to make a statement. So Ventru are enjoying the peanut gallery.
Yes.
Okay.
And I approve of him beating the crap out of him.
Of course, your bar does cater to the military and the the first responders. You did notice amongst the people that were walking up on stage, one was a very familiar dancer that you'd met a few nights ago.
I don't remember a dancer.
She was the one that was in your personal chambers. Had you locked out as you tried to talk her down.
Oh. Okay.
Meanwhile, downstairs. Meanwhile, Josiah, you said you were looking for your bags. Were you going back down in the basement, or were you going outside?
No, I'm headed back to
His blood bags.
I'm looking for my blood bags.
Okay.
I have the duffel bag, but I don't have any blood bags on me, so my job is done, so I am leaving.
There's a voice in the back of your head that may be a hunger, may not be. But it's saying, you've got this blood hunt. You've got Felipe all by himself.
He just passed you in stairs.
This might be a perfect opportunity.
Let's.
He's already been humiliated. He's frenzied. He's angry. He's not thinking clearly right now.
while that is true, I don't. I'm not thinking this is the right time. We got to let him simmer for a little bit. I'm not done playing.
Excellent. Okay. So do you let your accomplices know that you're going to go find something to eat?
As soon as I'm outside of any noticeable range of anyone that would, put me in proximity to that, so to speak, I'll go ahead and pull out my phone and text somebody. Just say, hey, I'm headed back to, mission accomplished, headed back.
Okay. You do see outside a very bloodied individual. As a matter of fact, I'd like to have you make a composure plus resolve roll to resist the hunger frenzy. As you see Adam crouched over.
3.
You feel
Like
fangs.
Chris in the black.
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
You feel the fangs kind of involuntarily lower themselves in your jaw, in your mouth, and then you realize exactly where you're at, what's happening, and you will the fangs to go back up with just the voice of the beast. You hear, just come on, eat it, you sissy. As you
I'm
will
not done fucking with you yet. Shut
your
up.
fangs.
And then I bounce.
And you do see Adam directly over the individual.
I'm sure he has a good reason. I'll let him do his thing.
I'm assuming we're heading out too.
You receive the message. Do you send back, hey, we'll just ride together or what?
Yeah. We'll
Yeah,
just get.
I probably won't, for obvious reasons, but I'll get a separate
Okay.
Uber. I don't mind riding in the cheap seats.
You get your Uber Black. Beautiful black Cadillac just shows up. The gentleman gets out, opens the door for you, and lets you in and make sure that everything's to your liking. Is the music fine? Is all this, every single thing he could do to make sure that you're having the best experience possible.
Yep.
Offers you a drink. Of course, you can't drink, but he does make the offer. And there is a supply of blood back at the shack as well. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, you can.
Yeah,
Imagine
that's the
that
plan.
Brody may also even let you enjoy the V beer.
Another one.
The second one tonight.
Okay. So just take off one.
Yes, you could. Depends on what you're doing. If you're doing the blood bag, you can take off one. If you do a V beer, you can take off one. Just one per bag.
Okay. Well, considering what we have to do tonight, I'm probably gonna just do one of each. I have a
Okay.
beer and a bag. And on that note, I'm gonna go run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Have fun. You arrived to the shack.
Considering how entertaining that was, I think he deserved it.
Yeah. I'm going to allow it.
You arrive to the shack in good order, and of course you see him enjoying himself with enjoying a V beer like it was the last beverage on Earth. The beast is slated for just a pure moment, as it never really is truly slated. And you see a rather tall looking, could be a woman, walking herself up the stairs.
Is this the same woman that...
She gave you a new outfit.
Ah.
And she goes, "Oh, honey, you guys have been busy tonight." And then, and she is just chuckling to herself, and you see her still live streaming, viewing the Twitch channel that's on, of which or someone's live feed of just the event.
It was very entertaining.
And she goes, "This is my favorite part." And she scrolls it back and shows you where Felipe turns almost purple with anger as the first T-shirt comes walking by, and then the second one, and just the varying levels. And you can see the frenzy take control. You can almost see a fang poke out, although he keeps his mouth the rictus that normally happens, and he manages to keep that under control just by sheer force of will alone.
Yeah. Very entertaining. My favorite part was the comments from the gallery.
She goes, "I would have died to be there tonight." She smiles and she goes, "I have to say hi to Josiah." And she looks over and she sees Josiah and promptly hustles to him. "Adam, you've shown up to the shack, a place you know well. It's, of course, a bar that has a great American flag behind the main stage of the establishment. Tonight it's a dance kind of party. People are getting busy on the dance floor, having some fun. And then, as you walk in, you hear a couple of the guys going, "Hey, you, come here!" And they're obviously speaking to you.
Are
I'll
they
walk
sitting
up
in
to
the
'em.
veteran?
You notice that they're sitting at some very special stools. It's got a placard.
Hey, mirror.
Yeah. It's got a placard talking about the lost soldiers and service to the country. And they immediately start patting you on the back and show you that you indeed were on camera as you walked out and beat the crap out of this guy and tore his shirt out and threw it at him. And basically told him never to wear that shit again. You went, "Can I buy you a beer?"
Yeah, I drink the new stuff.
You do know that at this bar, the beer that is the V beer is only upstairs. However, as you say that, the bartender looks over and recognizes you as you've been amongst the coterie. Clicks a little earpiece. Says, "I'll have your beer right up, sir." And they come down, and in short order, a tawny waitress comes down, hands you a beer from the VIP lounge, and you notice this waitress as Bobcat's favorite.
Oh. She's able to walk still?
She's had some time to heal. With that, you are free to go about your night. It's about 10:45 right now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna find the other members of my group after I drink a beer with the my new comrades.
Yeah, you hobnob with them, give them a chance to get their glee out with you, and then you make a quick exit.
Yeah. And I'm gonna try to find them, see what the game plan is on going to the lab. So, I guess we know where it is, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we know the security behind it?
Not really. We just did a drive-by, that's all.
Yep. It's a research building. It's going to have cameras, you can assume, just from what you kind of gathered about the place. It's going to have cameras, probably.
Security?
Go ahead.
Light security?
Probably a couple of security guards, just desk jockeys watching the. Probably like good old Eddie at the security desk, and he's probably eaten one too many donuts in his life, and just hung out back behind the booth, making sure that nothing happens, because it's not common that people go into this place.
Yeah.
Unless they're coming in for a purpose.
Well, we start heading that way.
Excellent. And let's see. Let's see, Krusty
Well,
is back.
obviously,
Just muted. So,
obviously wait for Josiah.
yep.
Yeah, I'm here though. So
Yep. So, Josiah, you are greeted by a very enthusiastic Starbright who is showing you over and over like she's turned it into a loop on her phone. Like the look on Felipe's face as he turns purpler and purpler as each model passes by. And the rictus that almost comes out where it almost pops a fang out of his face. He's so angry at this event.
It feels so good to just completely fuck him over.
And you do know with the utmost certainty that he is going to probably know by the end of the night who did this to him.
Okay.
Only because he will be able to find the cameras and find a way to figure out who went down the stairs.
Well, but can't he see that?
You
Being
don't
a
have the third level,
vampire
do you?
and all. Huh? Well, can vampires be captured on camera?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
shit. Okay. I'm okay with this, though. He can figure it out. I'm not there. And he can be as pissed as he wants, because I'll just won't be around. We got other things to be doing.
Yes. Meanwhile, the coterie is met and discussed the next course of action, which is going to Mercurial Medical Research Group and doing an investigation there involving this potential new pact with their wolf friends. How are you all getting to this location?
Or we just drive there.
Yeah.
Drive there. Park at the closest parking garage.
It's got a parking lot out front of it. It's not a very tall building, probably about two stories.
Above ground.
Yeah, above ground. What you may find below ground, you don't know yet.
For some reason, I'm kind of picturing an umbrella company.
I mean,
I'm gonna be. I'll only be taking my concealable weapons.
okay.
I am my own concealable weapon, so I think I'm good.
That is true. And what are you what are you guys doing? Are you doing your derringer, of course?
Yeah, I'm gonna carry it.
Just in case.
I'll bring a pistol of some sort.
Yeah, it's,
You ask one of the security guards, and they produce one for you.
Yeah. I'm not too particular.
Yep. You notice it's been filed down and probably is not legal, but you know.
I'm almost gonna take one of my 6-shooters.
I look at him and say, "Good job."
He chuckles. The ride to. Actually, we're going to take a short break here in this intermission here. I do need to use El Baño as well. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
Alrighty.
so we just need to really. Do we need to get inside?
Yeah, we're gonna have to get inside.
All right. Just waiting on Brody back. I mute the audio for a minute here.
Okay.
All right, welcome back. Short break is over. Where we left off, the party is now walking in, showing up to the Mercurial Medical Research Group. How far away are you guys parking again?
I'd say we should probably park far enough away that our vehicles won't get noticed while we sneak in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Far enough away that we look cool while we're walking away from them.
Either way, depends on how big the
You
explosion
have
is.
your duster blowing in the wind a little bit. You flip the card up and catch it. Put it behind your ear.
And then
Yeah.
it's a giant
Me and him, we
explosion.
don't sneak.
It is a medical research group. It is a public building, so
You said how many people are at the gate? Just one guy?
there's probably just one security guard watching it, and he has a hot button to push if something happens that they need to call someone out. But for the most part, you got at this institution that it's very unlikely that anybody would want to get in there unless there's some junkie wanting to get a hold of drugs. But there's methods to bar people from entry on that as well.
Oh, I'm just thinking we can probably just. I don't know if Oz really.
It would definitely draw the attention to you.
Well, I mean, I got enough charisma and manipulation and stuff to probably just, make them let us in.
That might not be a bad deal.
Yeah, to this point, at this time, you guys don't necessarily know. Don't necessarily know what is being, how deep this is, and the only thing you've heard about this place that's even caused any problem for your coterie at this time is that there's a Ventru that wants this place censored or closed down or something to that extent so that they can make money off of the products that this place already has. The other point of curiosity is that COVID at this point in time has only barely made the news, as it's just made landfall in the U.S. And has been just this weird virus in China for the time being that's been going outrageous. It's been getting crazy. And somehow this place already has a cure, or has a vaccine prepared for it.
That's the place we're going to.
Yes.
What I was saying is like, if this guy at the gate, he may not know much of what it is. It's just this is just his job, and it just does it every day. We could probably just use enough charisma and manipulation to just have him let us in.
Yeah, and to be fair, you don't even see the security guard at this point. It's just a building. You see the glass door you saw before, and a security desk.
That's what Jack does. He makes people do what he wants them to do.
Yeah.
Get away with stuff.
That's what Ventru do.
Yep.
I go up and talk him into letting us in,
Yeah.
and he'll think it's his idea.
How much can be true? So are you just using the front entrance then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Adam and Josiah, are you also doing the same? Just kind of coming as entourage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You enter the lobby of this place. There is a lone security guard, and he's behind a desk. He looks up at you and goes, somewhat sleepily, because he's probably having the late shift of the night, and it's about midnight, we'll say, by the time you guys arrive. Can I help you?
Yeah, we're just here to look around. I'm interested in actually purchasing this area.
Well, if you're looking to purchase this business, you're going to have to speak to Nathaniel. Dr. Pentis is very protective about his business. Says, you're in luck, though. If you want to talk to him, he's in.
I wasn't expecting him to actually be in. Yeah, I'd love to talk to him.
He carries very strange hours. Seems
Maybe
like he
you can-
lives here.
Well, yeah, it's really late. Maybe you could just show us the way.
He says, I can't let anybody in back there. It's a research facility. But I'd be happy to go ahead and have the doctor speak with you.
Well,
Persuade him otherwise.
Sorry?
Persuade him otherwise.
You can certainly use your abilities of dominate to have him take you to, or give you access if you wanted to. You do realize that this is also the haven or the domain of another kindred in the city.
Mm-hmm.
We don't actually want to talk to Nathaniel. We just want to.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have reason to talk to him.
Maybe we should have
Yeah,
him do it out then.
I am more than willing to talk to him. I would love to.
You see him pick up a phone. He pushes a couple buttons, dials the extension, and
I tell him my name.
you hear this very aggravated voice on the other side. Yes, Dr. Fentis. So sorry to interrupt you. I have a couple of people here, and you said Brody.
Mm-hmm. Brody Chompy.
Yeah, so Mr. Chompy wants to speak to you about possibly acquiring your business. Well, I'm not selling, but I'll come out and talk to him. Yes, sir. He hangs up. And in short order, you see a older-looking man come through, wire glasses, and he's wearing a lab coat. And he's looking slightly annoyed, but at the same time, he's just there. He's just another kindred of the city, coming to pay respect at this point. And he says, "How can I help you?"
Is there someplace we can speak privately?
He looks over, annoyed at the security guard. He goes, "Go out and take a smoke break." The security guard goes out front, pulls out a pack of Marlboros, and pops one in his mouth and lights it up, and just starts taking a smoke break out in the front, right next to a ashtray. Filthy had it.
Yes. That's one of their flaws.
So what can I talk to you about?
Well, it's been brought to my attention that you have a cure for this disease that's already coming over here, and that would be detrimental to several business practices of my kind.
Oh, you're one of those blue bloods, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
He says, "Oh, here's the thing. I have the right to do what business I want to do here. If you're speaking to me on behalf of Petra, you tell her to go fuck off."
Why don't we just shoot him?
It's tempting. What type of research are you actually doing here, and how did you get that vaccine so quickly?
He goes, Well, if you'd like to know, you're free to come back and inspect. I understand who you are, Brody Chompy. I know you. And, well, the other two, well, they're free to come along as well.
Yeah. I would love to inspect.
And he invites you back, and he goes, the truth is, the government gave us a few specimens. As he uses his key card to pass through the door, and it opens, and you see the security guard. Notice that you guys have moved on. Comes back in, takes his place at the desk. And you see that the walls are just like every other hospital you've ever been in. That muted yellowish, white, ivory color along the walls. Colors going down, directing to different areas of study. But it's a research hospital, so it's not necessarily servicing live patients there. He says, the government gave us this research, gave us specimens flown over from China to study, to try and cure. We had this back when the very first words were hitting the news about something causing this virus and it being related to bats. And so in the course of a few short weeks, we've ended up, a few short months, we've ended up resequencing it, and I'm the best of my trade. You have to understand. This annoys me greatly because I was looking for a cure for our condition.
Mm.
And he points to a room full of just like all sorts of medical devices. Centrifuges, things that contain vials of blood, things that, freezers, coolers, electronic magnoscopes, everything, or microscopes, DNA sequencers. This is a high-tech place. And
I keep my hands in my pockets.
And as he goes through, he goes, so I have the cures here, and I've been working day and night to try to keep up production. Here's the thing. Petra wants to make people sick. I'm not that kind of person. She wants people to get sick so she can benefit off of it and make money.
As is her business.
Well, I would pass on that instead of making people sick, let's cure this thing. Because what happens? We shut down, our kind ends up being stuck breaking in houses to find a supply of food. Because no one's going out because they're locked in. Petra is short-sighted. She doesn't even think about what this thing would do to us. What I would offer is instead a solution that lets us go ahead and produce this to a level, because right now I can't produce it to a level that's going to be sufficient to keep up with demand if it spreads quickly. So I'll give her the solution, the cure, and she can reproduce it for a cost which is reasonable, not her obscene cost, because I've heard she charges something like $150 for EpiPen. So she'll be capped out with government contracts and everything, $50 a dose. But she can produce the anti-vaccine or the antiviral and let me go ahead and proceed with my studies.
I think that would be an amicable deal.
Excellent. Is there anything else?
Do you have any live specimens for your other research?
My other research. You're talking about the kindred?
Yes.
No. It's
Is
a
there a
difficult thing to
bullshit
study.
check?
Sorry?
Is there a bullshit check? Like, I don't believe him.
Okay.
Is there a
So-
check for that?
You can certainly go ahead and make a wits and awareness, or a wits and insight is what it is. Wits and insight.
Can we actually use a one-word command to make this guy sleep?
Oh, that sucks.
Or does that require something else?
You
Where's
could,
insight?
but he is. You could, but he is kindred. Of your insight check here, you did roll enough to tell that this guy is not a bullshitter. He's telling it straight. He doesn't like dancing around things, and so he will just say it straight, curt, and to your face, and then just tell you to fuck off.
Are you by any chance researching anything with the lichen,
Who?
the wolves?
Ooh, those things are scary. I wouldn't mess with them. Says everything's gravy until until you have your lab get invaded by one. They can cut through reality.
It certainly seemed like it. That's for sure.
And he because I imagine you're probably talking about the dark room.
The dark room.
Because I own the facility, but I have some business partners that bought into the business when I was just starting up and needing the money.
Hmm.
And so they have a room in here that I have no access to. If they're keeping wolves down there, I don't want this to be even part of it.
Okay. Would we be able to gain access to that room?
And he walks you down a hall. He points to a doorway. He says, I don't have a key to it. He goes, but it leads down to a basement that nobody knows what's in there.
Well, maybe it's a good idea we find out what is in there, because if
Yes.
there are lichens in there,
Do you
won't
mind
be
if
messing with them.
Lupin?
we open this door forcefully?
I would not recommend it. The people behind it are very scary. And if you can open that door forcefully, I would be impressed.
Hmm.
And
Surprised I don't have anything like lockpicking.
there is. It's under stealth or larceny. Larceny. Which there is a lockpicker in the group. However,
He's not here, is he?
I got some larceny.
Ah.
there's a couple of you.
Would you
Roll
be-
me a roll.
In looking at the door, you realize there's electronic locks. If you have electronics, that's where you'd probably be best.
So technology.
Technology.
I don't have much in it.
Yeah, I have one.
That's all I got.
You have,
Maybe intelligence and technology.
you could try it. I'm going to tell you that it's going to require a very difficult, a very hard result to pass. which is 6 successes. Just by giving a glance at it, you can tell that this is top notch, high quality security equipment. It's something that Brody, you would be proud to have. This is government level security.
Okay. How does it look like it's a really thick door and all that?
Yes. On giving it a look, even dinging it, you hear it's so thick that you can just barely hear a thud as you hit the door.
How about dumb luck?
Dumb luck.
Yeah. And I rolled a 9 and an 8.
Well,
I would love to say yes, but
I rolled a 10, a 7, and a 7 on 4.
so
You know that the guy that goes up and goes, hey, it worked.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
it's a key card, and you can tell it has some other methods of identification. But what Nathaniel says is, honestly, guys, if they're keeping wolves down there, I don't want them to be. If they're keeping those beasts, those lupines down there, I don't want them to be here. I don't want to be part of it.
Well,
I'll see what
sure they don't want to be down there.
I will definitely see what I can do about getting access. But beyond that, I'm not going to be involved because I know the people behind this place, and they are scary.
That's fine. See what you can do to gain access, and let me know. I would appreciate that.
Well, I will do everything I can to help.
All right. And who exactly are these people that have access to it?
And he pulls out a business card, and you see Pentex written clearly on it.
Yeah, that's one of my competitors. Okay. Should have came to me for the funding.
And he looks at you and he goes, at the time, you weren't interested in genetics.
Mm.
Says, they approached me. He said, I promise. And they haven't regretted it. But I have much more pressing needs.
I may be able to assist you with those pressing needs.
My the prince made similar promises and has so far been good to his word.
Okay. Well, the prince is doing some things that I'm not 100% sure on, but
He's not faulted me yet, and I don't trivialize myself with politics.
Well, the political world is always changing.
yep.
If you find yourself suddenly in need of somebody else, you could always contact us.
Very well. I'll keep it in thought. He says, now if you will, I must be about my day, about my evening. He says, have Petra call me. We'll get the details done. I'll make sure that she understands that we're not going to have a plague on our hands. And then he proceeds to try to usher you guys out of the facility.
I'll leave.
And he's quite prickly about it as well. He's just like, you can tell that just even having anybody back in his sanctum back there just kind of bothers him. But just being who you were, he just kind of like let it happen.
Kind of figured as much.
As you're driving back to where you will be driving, Jack, you receive a phone call.
Hello, Jack.
This is Iron Crow from the casino.
Oh, what can I do for you?
We wanted to tell you that we have your room prepared.
Oh, excellent.
And he says, it's in the penthouse suite. Just show up to the desk and tell them who you are, and they'll give you the key.
Okay, will do. Thank you very much.
I'll go ahead and give Petra a call on our way back.
Yes.
Yes, Petra, I just got done talking to our friend Nick.
So you spoke with Nathaniel?
Yes.
Did you,
Whatever his name was.
Nathaniel Fintus?
Yeah.
So did you get him to stop producing the cure or the vaccine?
No, but I got him to offer a deal with you where you produce the vaccine.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Great. I can make a ton of money off this.
At $50
Oh, sure. I'll charge $150. And by the time the government and everything gets done, it's going to be $50 a pop.
I'll let you guys sort out the deal. The specifics on it.
Oh, well, aren't you a dear? She goes, fine. I'll call that asshole. She goes, I guess I owe you a favor now.
Yes, you do.
Very well. hangs the phone up and proceeds to, of course, do about her day. You can only assume that she swiftly calls
Oh, yeah.
Nathaniel, who is going to be very happy to have another phone call interrupting his important evening.
That was Petra.
And I will ask this: does anybody else have anything else they would like to do tonight?
Not that I can think of.
I'm just gonna contact Giuseppe and make sure everything's good.
Giuseppe says everything's fine on their front. They've got the club going all up, and the club is up and functional and doing well. And they've got lots of new recruits learning the ropes.
I'll inform everyone that in 2 days I'll need them at the club for the meet and greet, so that there's protection there.
Yep. So he has reached out with an olive branch to the venture of the city to fall in line. And with that, unless there's any further news, anything else, we'll go ahead and close out tonight's session.
All right, cool.
Excellent. You all take it easy. Have a great night, and thank you for viewing if you're watching.